Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Winda Hamidah Nurkamilah with student number 12020404142, and I'm from group 3. Now I will explain about poetry. Table of contents are definition, characteristics, types, example, and conclusion. And group 3 members are Supi Sepia, Ulfa Meisaro, Yanti Nurlaila, and myself. And now I will explain about definition poetry according to experts. The first is from Robert Frost. Poetry begins in delight and ends in wisdom. A poem begins as a lump in the throat, a sense of wrong, a homesickness, a lovesickness. Robert Frost, one of America's foremost poets, also saw poetry as the fusion of pleasure and truth, and also said that poetry communicates emotion. The second is from Samuel Johnson. Poetry is the art of uniting pleasure with truth. Samuel Johnson, the creator of the first English dictionary and an accomplished poet, gave us his personal definition of poetry. The next is poetry characteristic. Number 1 is poetry is a composition of which expresses ideas or feelings in lines. Number 2, poetry tends to have regular rhythmic pattern. Number 3, poetry usually makes uses of carefully chosen words and figures of speech. Number 4, poetry is usually beautiful. Number 5, it is often divided into stanzas. The next one is poetry types. Number 1 is sonnet. A sonnet is one stanza poem of 4 lines written in iambic pentameter. One way to describe a first line is to talk about how many stressed and unstressed syllables are in the line. Number 2, ode. Ode means a musical poem. This is a poem that has a complex structure and language of good quality that is meant to be sung. Number 3, ballad. Ballad is a form of verse, often a narrative set to music. Ballads derive from the medieval French chanson, balladier or ballad, which were original dancing songs. Number 4 is epic. An epic is a lengthy narrative poem, ordinarily concerning a serious subject, containing details of heroic deeds and events significant to a culture or nation. Number 5 is lullaby. A lullaby is a soothing piece of music, usually played or sung to young children before they go to sleep, with the intention of aiding that process. Number 6 is dirge. A dirge is a psalm song or lament expressing mourning or grief, such as would be appropriate for performance at a funeral. Number 7 is elegy. In literature, an elegy is a mournful, melancholy, or plaintive poem, especially a funeral song or a lament for the dead. Number 8, nonsense. Nonsense is a communication via speech, writing, or any other symbolic system that lacks any coherent meaning. Number 9 is pastoral. A pastoral lifestyle is that of shepherds having livestock around open areas of land according to seasons and the changing availability of water and pasturage. And the last one is panegyric. Panegyric. A panegyric is a form of public speech or written verse delivered in high praise of a person or thing. Generally highly studied and discriminating eulogy, not expected to be critical. And the next is example of poetry. The verse is from T.S. Eliot. And the poetry title is The Westland in October 1922. Eliot published The Westland in the Criterion. Eliot's dedication to Emile Favreau, the better craftsman, refers to Ezra Pound's significant hand in editing and reshaping the poem from a longer Eliot manuscript to the shortened version that appears in publication. And The Hollow Man appeared in 1925 for critic Edmund Wilson. It marked. And the next is The Nadir of the Pass of Despair and Desolation, given such effective expression in the Westland. And the second is Langston Hughes. The Negro Speak of River, 1921, written when he was 17 years old on a train to Mexico City to his father. The Negro Speaks of Rivers was Hughes' first poem which received critical acclaim after it was published in the June 1921 issue of NAACP magazine, The Crisis. And then Mother the Sun, 1922, with recitation from notables ranging from King to Viola Davis. Mother the Sun was first published in the December 1922 issue of the magazine The Crisis. The 20-line poem traces a mother's words to her child about their difficult life journey using the analogy of stairs with tacks and splinters in it. Okay, and the conclusion is poetry is a literary genre whose language is bound by rhythm, dimension, rhyme, and the arrangement of lines and stanzas. Poetry is also defined as a composition in language whose forms are carefully selected and arranged. Poetry has 5 characteristics and 10 types. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.